Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $15 Bank Shot best bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Thursday in college hoops. First up, we go to the Patriot League Conference Tournament as Boston University takes on Army. This one, 6 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. You know, going into the conference tournament, or at least into conference play, I thought that Boston University was a dark horse to win the Patriot League. I still think Colgate is the best team by far in this conference, and they should win the conference tournament. But, you know, Boston U, a very experienced team, and I think when you get to conference tournament play, these things matter. I mean, Boston U is 36th in the nation in Division I experience. They're a very deep team that uses a lot of its bench. And, you know, Army on the other end, they're ranked 300th in Division I experience. So I do worry about that. You know, Boston University's offense struggled because they were a bad shooting team this year. They were ranked 331st in effective field goal percentage. Excuse me, they were 305 in adjusted offensive efficiency. But this is still a team that takes care of the basketball. Pretty good offensive rebounding team. They get pretty good looks as well on the offensive end. They've got some talented scorers, guys like Walter White, who's really talented on both ends of the court. And you know, they're playing their best basketball, you could say, right now on a 3-game win streak going into the conference tournament. They won 5 of their last 7 down the stretch in the regular season. So they just beat this Army team on the road by 6 points, 73-67, in a game where they had a great shooting performance, over 40% from 3. I think Boston U, you know, this is a team that may be able to pull off some upsets in this conference tournament. And I think they grabbed the first one here as the underdog on the road. So give me Boston U. I'm going to take the points. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line. Next up, we go to the Atlantic Sun Conference Tournament. It's the semifinal round. So the winner of this game punching their ticket to the championship game for a chance to make it to the big dance. It's Eastern Kentucky and Liberty, 7 o'clock Eastern, ESPN+. I think Liberty wins this game, and I think they win the next game as well to make it back to the NCAA tournament. And I like Liberty to win this game and cover the number in the end. You know, Eastern Kentucky, a team that I'm just not looking to back right now. The team that didn't play too well down the stretch of the regular season. They lost 3 of their last 5 games in the regular season, losing to some teams you wouldn't expect in North Alabama and North Florida. They also lost to this Liberty team by 10 points in the meeting back on February 11th, an 83-73 final score. I think the big thing for me is I think Liberty's offense is going to be able to have its way. I also think Liberty's defense is the best in the conference by far. And I just don't trust this Eastern Kentucky offense on the road. You know, a team that wasn't a great shooting team. They're ranked 319th in three-point shooting, 293rd in two-point field goal percentage shooting, and they don't get to the free throw line much. So sure, they're a good offensive rebounding team, but Liberty, number 1 in the nation in defensive rebounding percentage, so that kind of cancels out. And I just think the one big advantage that Eastern Kentucky usually has on offense is gone, and I can't trust them in this spot. So give me Liberty. I'm going to take them, and I'm going to lay the points. Next up, we go to the Big Ten as Michigan takes on Illinois. This one, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. I was not impressed with Michigan's last game against Wisconsin, a game in which Michigan had a nice lead at halftime, but blew that lead in the second half, and Wisconsin was on their way to a nice win, an upset win on the road, but Hunter Dickinson hit that 3-point buzzer beater at the end to tie the game, force overtime, and then Michigan was able to win that game and cover the number in the end, but I just didn't like the way the defense played in the second half, and I think on the road here, I don't like their chances. You know, Illinois is coming off a loss to Ohio State. We know Ohio State's really struggling, so not a very good loss for Illinois, but that was on the true road game for Illinois. We know they struggle so much on the road. They've lost their last 4 road games now, but at home, they've won 5 straight games. They're playing so much better on their home court. And this is a team that plays fundamentally well. I think they're the better team overall. I like the fact that Illinois is top 20 in both 2-point offense and defense. I'm going to take Illinois here and lay the points. I think because of Michigan's 3-game win streak, the fact that they've won 6 of their last 8, they're overvalued in this spot. So give me Illinois. I'm going to lay the points. Next up, we go to the Conference USA as Florida Atlantic FAU takes on Rice. This one's going to be 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. And there was a stretch of games early to mid-February where FAU was just plainly overvalued, and we were fading them a lot. Whether they lost the game outright to teams like UAB and Middle Tennessee, or they failed to cover as big favorites against teams like Rice and Louisiana Tech, you know, they were just overvalued. But now you look at FAU starting to win games by big numbers again. I think they've really improved on the defensive end. I think that was the big problem for FAU when they were losing those games, giving up 81 to Rice, 86 to UAB. They lose 74-70 to Middle Tennessee. The defense has really improved the last couple of games, giving up only 66 points in a 106-66 win over UTSA, and then giving up only 49 points to UTEP in the last game in a blowout win as well. Now you're playing a Rice team that you struggle a little bit with in the first meeting. You didn't cover the number against at least, but now Rice is struggling themselves. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games, one of them to UTSA, the worst team in the conference by far. And you look at the last 2 games for Rice, they scored 57 points and 54 points. I don't like the way this offense has looked, and this is a Rice team that needs to score points in order to be competitive, as this defense is not good enough. They're ranked 255th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency. So I think FAU is going to be able to score 80, 85, maybe more points in this game. I think their defense shows up as well. I think they get a nice win and cover on the road. So give me FAU. I'm going to lay the points. And the final game we're going to talk about for Thursday's card in college basketball, it'll be in the Pac-12 as Arizona takes on USC. This one 11 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. I think Arizona is one of the more talented teams in the country, and we saw them lose last time out to Arizona State. I think sometimes this team isn't necessarily worried about the defensive end, and we've seen them give up 89 points to Arizona State, 88 points to Stanford, 87 to Oregon in their loss back on January 14th. So the defense hasn't always been sharp, but there's still been games where we've seen Arizona be able to produce a complete game, and we know the offense is going to score a lot of points. I think they score plenty of points in this one. I think USC is overrated, honestly. I mentioned that in the last video that we did with USC against Utah. Utah was not able to cover for us, and that was a game where USC shot 47.8% from 3, 11 of 23. Utah, a measly 5 of 22, 22.7%. You're just not going to win games against teams like USC when you're shooting that poorly and when they have that good of a shooting night. But Arizona can go toe-to-toe with USC offensively. This is a team that's ranked 4th in the country in effective field goal percentage, 28th in three-point shooting percentage. So I think if this is going to be a shootout, I think Arizona certainly has the advantage. But I think Arizona's defense sharpens up in this game. I think Arizona has enough to win this one. So give me Arizona on the road. I'm going to take them on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Thursday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.